Welcome to Sticks and Stones. I got a great show lined up today. We're just going to dive right on in. I'm pairing Redbreast, 12-year-old, single pot still Irish whiskey with the last in the Micallef line I've got going here. This is the Torcedores. I hope that's pronounced right. Torcedores. Torcedores, I think. This is the last one in this series for me. So we're going to go out with a bang. I think it's going to be a great one. We'll go ahead and jump right on into the spirit. As I said, this is Redbreast, 12-year-old, single pot still Irish whiskey. It is a product of Ireland, naturally. 40% alcohol by volume, so 80 proof, kind of a mellow spirit. It is from the Midleton Distillery and is matured in Ex-Bourbon barrel and Oloroso Sherry casks, which should give it some really great fruitiness. Now, the mash bill is all barley, malted and unmalted, and it is kind of the traditional single pot still mash bill. There's no corn or rye in it. Let's go ahead and glass some up. Smells delicious. It looks delicious. All right, it took me a few minutes to get on. I had some technical difficulties with the little thing that you pull the top foil off with. It broke, and I was like trying with my cutter on my lighter. I had to get my keys out. Yeah, it was a mess. Anyway, on to the spirit. As you can see, it is just a beautiful, beautiful golden color. It's a nice kind of middle of the road. It's not really light, but it's not a real super deep. But it's just got some wonderful golden hues to it. And you can probably see it's got some really great legs on the glass as you swirl it on the nose. You get a lot of orchard fruit up front, almost no alcohol burn on it at all. Just a little tinge, just to let you know that there's alcohol there. I get a really nice kind of a honey sweetness with maybe some raisiny notes in there, some vanilla, and maybe just a hint of some sort of like baking spices kind of thing. That's wonderful. All right, let's go ahead and see how it tastes. Folks, that's a wonderful spirit. Wow. Um, on the palate, you do get a lot of the same kind of notes that you picked up in the aroma. You get like baked apples and pears with some nice baking spices in there, like pears or apples baked in cinnamon and nutmeg, that kind of thing. It's got a real kind of honeyed maltiness to it. And there a little bit of toasted oak. There's some raisins and maybe figs. As I said, there's a little bit of light kind of baking spice in there, and then there's a nice creamy vanilla with just a touch of pepper on it. The body is silky and gentle, a little bit oily. The finish is long. It's warming. You get a lot of dried fruit and some soft spices. This is probably one of the best Irish whiskeys that I've ever tried. I'd have to go back and sample all the other ones, but I think I'm pretty safe in saying that. Wow. It is. It's a wonderful spirit. If you've never tried it, you should go and pick up a bottle. The 12-year is their base spirit. And I think this one was somewhere around $55 or $60. So it's not a super expensive. It's a nice moderate. I consider anything under $100 to be fairly moderately priced, um, and it is definitely worth that price point. Definitely worth it. The combination of the malted and unmalted barley is really what gives Redbreast. It's got kind of signature creamy texture with just a slight spicy grain character to it. But then the sherry cask influences, they add layers of the dried fruit richness without overwhelming the spirit's kind of natural orchard fruit core. So I think that's where a lot of the kind of the raisins and figgies kind of things is coming from, is from the sherry cask aging. And true to Irish whiskey, you get more of the like the apples and the pears, and that's natural in the spirit. And then you add in the what it draws from that Oloroso Sherry aging. Oh, it's wonderful. I mean, it's wonderful. All right, but we do more than just review spirits here. We review cigars too. We put them together. I think I'm one of the only ones that does this, or at least is as good at it as I am. All right. The Micallef Torcedore. The one thing I really can't figure out is the whole left-right thing. I always screw that up. Um, this is a Nicaraguan cigar, as is all Micallefs. Um, the binder and filler are Nicaraguan. The uh, the the wrapper is a Nicaraguan Habano. It is a medium strength cigar. Let me get my cutter. There it is. I'm gonna go ahead and V cut it. Wonderful V cut. That is my preferred cut. A lot of like cigar aficionados love the guillotine. I'm not a big guillotine fan, although I do have one out here. I typically either V cut or punch. Uh, I may guillotine a torpedo, but usually if it's got the rounded heel, I just V cut it. All right, on the nose. You get some very nice notes of hay and a little bit of leather and a touch of cedar in there. There's not any really overwhelming aromas coming off the nose. It's just got a slight earthiness to it. Visually, it's a very well constructed cigar. It has tight but visible seams. Not really sure if they show up. Yeah, you can see it right there. You see the seam. The seam runs down it. Um, it is like the other Micallefs I've tried. It is minimally veined and like again left and right. Uh, yeah, you can see that vein right there. Or no, I'm sorry, that's there's the vein. So um, but yeah, this is a very well constructed cigar, and it is they used a wonderful leaf on the wrapper, and it has a large triple cap on cold draw. The cold draw, I get some nice notes of leather and cedar. uh, Kind of odd for a Nicaraguan. I'm not picking up any spice on the cold draw like pepper. I pick up maybe some like roasted almonds um, and some raisins, and that's about it. So we're going to go ahead and get this thing fired up. I got a little basketball, college basketball going on here in the background too. On the palate, I get some very nice notes of cedar and kind of toasted wood. Some fresh roasted nuts, not any particular nuts, just kind of that roasted nuttiness. There's a little bit of earth and leather in there. I get some cocoa powder. There is a little black pepper on the palate, even though there wasn't any in the cold draw. I'm also picking up some very subtle, kind of natural sweet notes, sort of like a let's say a shortbread cookie. It's not super sweet, um, but maybe with just a little bit of a fruit glaze on top of it. This is good stuff. It's very good stuff. Um, I think it's kind of medium strength and balanced. There's some pepper on the retrohale, and there's a tartness, kind of a citrusy tartness to it. Um, the burn, the burn is fairly rugged. Um, could be, definitely could be my lighting. I'm going to hit it with a single torch and try and straighten it up, and then we'll see how it goes from there. Okay. All right. Um, the Torcedor line really kind of honors the craftsmanship, the traditional rollers, while delivering a very approachable uh, kind of Nicaraguan character. It's earthy, a little nutty, got some gentle spice, but without an overwhelming kind of intensity. So it's a very good cigar, and I would think definitely, as with every one of the Micallef line that I've tried, I think that they're very great go-to like daily smokes. Um, haven't like you know blown my hat off, but very good and very affordable. And more can you ask? Now let's try them together. It means absolutely nothing at all, but I love to do it. I love the way the smoke looks in the glass. Number one, but number two, in my eyes, I'm trying to tell you how these two things go together, and so I want as little space between the puff and the sip as I can possibly have. So releasing the smoke into the glass as I take a sip, I think that's marinating and marrying those flavors together as quickly as possible. Now this this pairing is built on texture. and kind of a mid-palate kind of richness. The creamy weight from the unmalted barley and the Redbreast kind of smooths the cigar's more like earthy backbone, while the sherry sweetness enhances the cocoa and the roasted nut notes in the cigar. The Torcedores cedar and black pepper in turn then accentuate the whiskey's oak and baking spices. What more could you ask for? I see I've got double digit people watching. I should have double digit hearts on there too. Everybody hit that like button. I like to see that like button light up. Yeah. All right. Business. I really do think these are going to go very well together, and I'm probably going to have to put a little more Redbreast in the glass there. I don't think I'm just going to be able to do it with one pour. It's a very good spirit. I have put off buying Redbreast for a long time, not because of any negatives. There was just always something else that I wanted more to do pairings with. And finally, I was at my little secret spot today, and I was like, I'm doing it. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the trigger on the Redbreast. They've got it, great price. I'm doing it. Uh, so I did, and they actually had 3 cases of E.H. Taylor small batch sitting there, and for $59 a bottle. That's the lowest I've seen it, I think. Um, I bought a bottle before a few months ago, and it was either 54 or 64. But E.H. Taylor is less than $70 a bottle. Uh, a year ago, you were paying $1.30 for it, $130. Now they're selling it for 55. It's all supply and demand. They control the supply, and we demand it. The the whiskey inventory overall is starting to loosen up. And I say whiskey inventory, the bourbon, uh, because bourbon's been the real problem. You can get Irish and Scotch, and you probably have to pay a little more for it now with the tariffs and stuff, which I did notice. Uh, some bottles that I knew how much I paid for them before, and they're like $5 higher. Um, but it is what it is. Uh, but they're already. Jim Beam has announced that they're shutting down their oldest uh, distillery line for a year because they have so much inventory that they can't produce anymore right now. Uh, and a lot of that has come in some part uh, people's in the age groups, people in the younger age groups in their 20s are drinking less. I think people in their 50s are probably drinking more. I think I probably am. But and then on top of that, for the bourbon industry, it's here in Kentucky, um, Canada is a big buyer. And the Canucks up there they have had it with America, and they don't even have bourbon on the shelf. They're buying Canadian whiskey, which is fine. That means that I can get E.H. Taylor small batch for $55 a bottle instead of 130. You got to take your wins where you can, right? Some wonderful stacks of ash there, sort of variations between white, gray, and black. And you'll also notice that we're still kind of wonky on the burn. That is an official term, wonky, but it's not as bad as it was earlier. This is much, much straighter. And this may be one of those, it could be just the cigar itself, or it could be this particular line that, it might burn a little off. But I I do not have. I see the other reviewers. They'll be like, "Oh yeah, this is a razor straight burn line." This product was grown in nature. How did it become razor straight? I don't think so. I think it's got a little. You're just calling it razor straight. I understand that. For those that have joined in a little late, we are pairing and enjoying Redbreast 12-year-old uh, single pot still Irish whiskey and a Torcedor cigar from Micallef. These are some really good cigars. Dogs. There's always dogs barking. We're going to sell this house in a couple of years. We're going to move the No Shoes Bar and Grill out in the country. And we're going to have a few acres, so there ain't no dogs barking except our own. Anyway, the Redbreast it's a wonderful spirit. It's aged. Part of the aging is in Oloroso Sherry casks, which really imparts some additional fruit flavors into the whiskey. Irish whiskey is known for their apples and pears already. This it's kind of a baked apple and pear. Where you get a little bit of the baking spices like cinnamon and nutmeg kind of mixed in there with that, and some honeyed malt, some toasted oak, some figs and raisins, um, and a real nice creamy vanilla with just a very slightest of touch of pepper. The Torcedor is a Nicaraguan puro. Filler and binder are from Nicaragua, as well as the wrapper. Uh, its flavor highlights are cedar and some toasted wood. There's some roasted nuts in there, along with some earth and some leather, some cocoa powder, a little bit of black pepper, and kind of a fruit glazed shortbread cookie. Now, good stuff, man. Good stuff. Oh, now this is both of these together. It's a very balanced, medium strength. The Redbreast is 80 proof, 40% alcohol by volume. Um, and so it's on the, it's as far down as you can go as far as proof and still be considered whiskey that's not flavored or whatever. And then this is a solid medium strength cigar. Um, I think people that started with their training wheels on and they were smoking Connecticut's and the light colored wrappers, this would be something you could step up into, that the wrapper's a little darker. It will not overpower you. And we're getting close here to the halfway mark. We're gonna get there. I'm gonna hold on until the halfway mark, and I'll let y'all go. Hopefully, we'll get there. I'd like to try to keep this stuff under 30 minutes because I know y'all got things to do. It's Saturday afternoon. But while you're on, just go ahead and hit the wherever you're on at YouTube, X, Rumble. Hit the heart button. Hit that heart for me. Hit that heart for me. Um, but yeah, well, I went to a couple of different stores today, and yeah, I knew I could find the Redbreast. It's easily available. Uh, but I always just look for something else. Is there something else I can get? Something I haven't had yet? Something I'd like to pair? Whatever. And the first place I went, they had the Redbreast, and I wandered through, and I just didn't really see anything that like tripped my trigger. So I went to my little secret spot because they always have stuff in there that like nobody else has. It amazingly, I was shocked because I've never seen this varying uh, different bottles from E.H. Taylor. But in my secret spot, of course, this was in the glass case where all the dollars you spend put tickets into the raffle, and they draw it out, and then you have the opportunity to buy this bottle. They had, I think, 6 different bottles of E.H. Taylor. They had a 15-year-old, which I've never seen. Didn't know they had that. And then they had the small batch, single barrel, the rye, and they may have even had a 12-year. But yeah, there were 6 different bottles in there. They had basically all the Weller line, the 12-year, the full proof, the orange label, the white label, some of them, I don't know, it's one of them that's like CYOB or something like that. I don't know. It's all ones that my pocketbook ain't gonna be buying them anytime soon. But yeah, he's one of those places that they will take anything that the distributors give them, and in exchange for that, they get some of the really good stuff. A lot of liquor stores, they're like, no, we don't want this. No, don't, no, we're not going to sell that. He's just like, bring it all in here. Bring it all in. A lot of things that people don't really realize about how the business works. Now, I'm going to go ahead and tap this off because this is about as far as I'm going to be able to get with one without it falling in my lap, which happened last week on here. So, yeah, I do too much talking with my hands and releasing the smoke before I take the cigar away from my mouth, and so that loosens the ash in there. I know I do it, but I still do it anyway. Yeah. All right. Now we're getting close to the halfway mark. I've been kind of keeping track, um, and as we're getting here into the mid part of the cigar, uh, the interaction between the two really kind of becomes like layered. Uh, the orchard fruit has turned like a little darker, a little richer, closer more to like stewed apples. So that would be a really, a lot more sugary. Um, the cocoa has evolved like more towards like chocolate milk, a little richer, more sugar in it, that kind of thing. Uh, and the finish has kind of carried that honeyed grain and warm pepper in tandem. Um, I think that, you know, overall, this pairing, the orchard fruit and the cocoa, as you're getting down towards closer to the end of the smoke, it's going to really kind of equate to like chocolate covered cherries. Um, that honeyed barley, along with the roasted nuts, is going to be, it's like a kind of a praline, kind of praline sweetness. I love like praline pecans and stuff like that. Oh, love that. I just have to stay away from it because it loves me too. I can sit down and eat an entire can in one sitting. Can't do that. I've lost about 55 pounds, and I've had it off for over a year, trying to keep it that way. Want to be around a while. Promised my wife 50 good years. We still got about 40 more to go. Uh, and the creamy mouthfeel in both of these offerings uh, really complements the kind of um, medium bodied smoke things kind of blending together and just creating a nice like soft palate for you to rest on as you sip and smoke. Overall, I think this is a, a fairly elegant, uh, balanced pairing. Uh, it leans into the creaminess and warmth rather than like a bold contrast where things kind of really blend together. The Redbreast 12 brings in a depth and a silkiness where the Torcedor delivers that kind of classic Nicaraguan earth, but a little bit lower spice, not quite as spicy as some other Nicaraguan cigars, but it's still there. I would give this pairing a 9.1 out of 10, maybe even a 9.2. Redbreast, this Redbreast 12 may be my favorite Irish whiskey now. I really like Jameson's triple cask, triple distill. I forgot what they call it. It's triple. Yeah, it's a triple. It's triple distilled and triple filtered and something like that. I really like that spirit, but I tell you what, this is a really good one here. And I've had, like Bushmills 10. I've had most of the Jamesons. It's really good. If you're an Irish whiskey fan and you haven't tried this, you really should. And if you haven't tried Irish whiskey, that might be a way to go right there. It's really good. So, hey, we're at 31 minutes. I did really good, didn't I? All right. I hope you enjoyed this pairing as much as I've enjoyed bringing it to you. Please hit like, subscribe, share, notify, tell all your friends. Even if you don't like spirits and cigars, it's great information. That allows you to talk to people that may be into that kind of stuff and talk intelligently about it. So be like, I don't know anything about that stuff. Like, well, how'd you learn all this stuff? Well, I listen to this crazy guy on X or YouTube or wherever you're watching. And he's great information. I don't partake in it, but leave me comments. Love comments. Tell me something that you'd like to see me pair. I'll do it. I've done it before. And I will give you credit for it. I'll be like, so-and-so told me to pair this, and so here it is. And if it's good, it's all me. If it's bad, it's them. Be a subscriber on X. $1 a month. My subscribers had my notes on this pairing before I ever went live. You get first dibs. You kind of know what's coming. So you should do that. It's $1. Go to our Amazon store. Got some great Sticks-n-Stone stuff. Sticks-n-Stones t-shirts, long sleeve, short sleeve. Even have some that have like great, like Bible verses on the back and stuff. We're Sticks-n-Stones on Amazon. So, but until we get to be together again, keep your sticks dry, your stones cold, and have a great day.